Good morning, everybody. This is our level 3 class in the villages on Friday, and we are using book 336, Beautiful Ballads. Today we are doing Up Where We Belong, and it is on page 184, or is it 194? 194, okay. And because it's level 3, what is our job? Well, our job is to get our left hand and our right hand going on the keys, but our job is to also start making some easy arrangements. And I do have some easy arrangements for you. I also have a hard arrangement for you. For those people that like to push themselves, I did do some presets. So well, all the presets are designed to do are to get you to find the buttons on your instrument and help you learn your buttons. That's all it's for. So don't think that this is the law. And by the way, I've already been, here comes Claire. It's been pointed out that I have several mistakes on this. So for those of you that have printed this out, A1, line 1, category show. It should be category show number 7. Number 7, 70s piano. I forgot to put the number. I told you I did this fast and did not read it over. I just printed it out. That was dumb of me. And A3, the second line where it says edit style, it says turn on ORC plus 2 and plus D3. What's D3? It's nothing. It's ORC plus 3. My finger accidentally hit the D in between there. So turn on ORC plus 2 and ORC plus 3. And there may be some more on here. I don't know. There's possibility. So if you do the presets and it doesn't sound right, let me know and I'll try to figure out what I did wrong and correct it. Okay. All right, we're up to 22 people now. Yay! I got a little worried. I started the class and there were only 6 of you on.
Dawn, did you say it was category show what?
Number 7.
Number 7.
Uh-huh.
And the song was what?
The song today is Up Where We Belong.
Right, okay.
This is from An Officer and a Gentleman, recorded by Joe Cocker and Jennifer Warnes for the 1982 film Officer Gentleman, and the song reached number 1 on the charts, but it went through a bunch of hiccups. What do I mean by that? Well, first of all, Joe Cocker did not want to do this. This was not a song that was in his style. He thought if he did this, he was going to ruin his reputation as the bluesy rock and roll guy that he really wanted to be. So he got talked into this. Also, the producer of Officer and a Gentleman did not want to do this because there was nothing in the budget for a song, and especially a song that didn't have anything from the movie, really, okay, except for the fact that it was a duet. So as a duet, it was kind of having to do with the 2 lead performers in the movie, the guy and the girl. Richard Gere and, can't remember her name, I'm sorry. I saw the movie 3 times and I can't remember her name.
Wasn't it Julia Roberts?
Nope, not Julia Roberts. Nope,
No.
not in this one. Nope, that was Pretty Woman.
Okay.
Yeah, no, this
Oh,
no.
I know who it was. No, it wasn't Deborah Winger. No.
Yes, it was Deborah Winger. Thank you. Yes, it was.
No, I saw it, but it's an old movie. It's been a long
Yeah,
time.
it is. It's a cool movie. And so finally they thought, all right, we'll put it in. And Joe Cocker's finally like, yeah, okay, I'll record it. And he didn't like Jennifer Warnes, so he didn't want to record with her. So he's like, I'll do it, but she's going to do her part and then send me the tape and I'll do my part. Well, guess what? You can't do a duet that way and make it really work, although some people have. So they finally convinced him the 2 of them are going to sing together. So they got them all both together in the recording studio and they recorded the song, and guess what? It became a number 1 hit.
Yeah.
So you never know. So it went through a couple of hiccups before actually coming to light. There is a little bit of a roadmap. So before I play it, let's go over the roadmap so you know where things are. Then I'll play the arrangement that I have, And remember, this is the optional arrangement. I have some other ones that are much easier. But here we go. All of page 1. Page 2. On the third line, you have your first ending, and it continues to line 4, and then you have your 2 dots. Where does that go back to? The beginning. So between the 4/4 and the G note, you're going to make that same color. Now we're going to do verse 2. All right, verse 2, all of page 1, the first 2 lines of page 2, the first 2 measures of the third line, and right before the first ending, you might want to put a colorful 2 and an arrow down to the second ending in the next line so you know where you're going. All right, so now you finish that page, go to the third page, and the third page part of it's in a different key, by the way. And at the end of the third page, you have some dots, sends you back to the beginning of the third page, and you're just going to repeat and fade. Repeat and fade. Questions about the roadmap? It's not too difficult.
No.
No.
And I do have a few chords. They're all 2-finger easy chords. Nothing 5-finger, 4-finger, none of that stuff. But I'm just going to add a few. Now, why am I going to do that? Why would I do that? Because I happen to have this. That's how much I love the movie, is I bought the sheet music. So I've got all kinds of extra stuff going on in here.
Oh, wow.
And that's
Wow.
what I used. That's what I used to get some of the extra chords.
Huh.
Now, back in the day, when sheet music was $3.50, this was an expensive piece of sheet music. Yes, and I still bought it. Now you go online and you can get a download for $6.
Mhm.
Yeah. All right. Here. Then you only get the first page. All right. I'm going to start with Love Ballad. And I'm taking off the bass and the drums. So I'm just getting piano. And because I'm using category show number 7, I've got piano up here, but it says vocal on the bottom. I changed that because that doesn't work for Joe Cocker. I'm not 100% satisfied, but I'm using an edgier guitar for his voice down here.
Dawn, could I ask you a question?
Yeah.
You said love ballad and take off the bass and the drums in category 7. Are you talking about category 7 under
Show,
what ballad?
category show.
Yeah.
Go to category show,
Right, okay,
number 7.
okay.
Yep. Yeah, I am. I used my foot so I could hear her. Yep. All right,
Sorry.
so here we go. Oh, thank you.
Oh, pretty.
Thank you.
Dawn,
Yeah.
I'm sorry I come in late. What song are we doing today?
Up Where We Belong.
Okay, thank you.
Up Where We Belong, page 194.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, now that's the hard arrangement. Okay, so if you want to take a stab at it, go for it. You don't have to do that. I've got several other arrangements where you just have to do either 2 presets or a 1-button push. Okay, one of them is sweet rhythm, if you have that. Number 8, it's going to give you a piano on top and a piano on the bottom. And since it starts out, Joe Cocker plays piano and he starts out playing the piano, you can start out with Jennifer down here. And just leave all your bass and drums on. Don't even worry about turning any of that off. Just play what's here and go back and forth if you wish for the different singers. And then when you get to Joe Cocker's part, you'd go up to the stronger piano, or either one. And then when you get to the chorus, which was at the top of the page, you want to add a duet. And I think I also added some strings to the lower and the upper. Just add a duet. And that's the easy way to do it. Now, what if you don't have sweet rhythm? How about those of you that have smooth full band, or
Yeah.
it's soft and easy, easy 4/4. Smooth full
piano.
band works perfectly well. And you should put an electric piano and a flute, or whatever sounds you want on the top and the bottom. But I believe it comes up. It's, preset number 1. So if you don't have presets, you may just want to find what it comes up to: piano strings and a cornet. That'll work. That works absolutely fine. And the same thing, when you get to the chorus, just use one sound for her and one sound for him. It doesn't matter which one you use. And when you get to the chorus, which is at the top of page 195, second measure, that's where you would push a harmony. You can push duet, or you can do country harmony if you want, and put the harmony on top. They both sound fine. And I also added some strings to my upper and lower. Or not, you don't have to do that. That just thickens it out a little bit. So you can either do something super easy, or you can do super hard. It's up to you. It's up to
Don,
you.
when you did Sweet Rhythm, I found that it's under style, and you can add a duet. What number category were you using there?
I think I was using rhythm preset number 8.
Number 8? Okay, what is that?
You should have a piano and a piano.
It says blues piano.
Yep, that's it.
Okay,
That's the one.
okay.
Yeah. So you can make it as easy as you want, because this is level 3, and level 3 we're trying to do easy arrangements. Okay, sometimes I just get carried away, and I'm sorry.
I like the sound of that better than the first one.
What was
I
that?
I said I like the sound with the Sweet Rhythm.
Okay.
I like the sound of that. It had a little more, I don't know, a little more softer. It wasn't.
Well, it had the bass and the drums right off the bat.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I liked
Yeah.
it.
No, it's a nice rhythm. It works.
What's the tempo?
Pardon?
What's the
Tempo is 69 or 70 or 71. You know, keep it close. Yep. Let me tell you where I made the changes. Okay, let me give you the A1s and the Ls and the Us. Okay, so you know where those are. A1 is at the beginning, and you want to make it A1U, upper keyboard. Line 2, first measure. right before you play those two pickup notes, actually, I'm playing those two pickup notes in the next measure, by the way. You're going to put an L/U, meaning the first time you play it, you're going to go to the lower keyboard. The second time you play it, you're going to go to the upper keyboard. Yep, you're still in A1, so you're just going to put A1L. You can actually write A1 if you want. And the second time you do it, you're going to, whatever number we're on, you're going to go to the upper one. So L/U. So you know, first time you go to lower keyboard, second time you go to the upper keyboard. Third line, second measure, beat 3, right where that rest is. A2L. And then you're also going to put A5L, and you're going to put that in parentheses. Why? Because by the time you get to the top, the second time, you're going to already be on A5. You're just going from U to L. So I don't want you to, accidentally kick to the next one. So that's why I put it in parentheses, like look out for that. Just go to the lower. So A2L and A5L.
Okay.
Second page, top line, first measure, right where that half rest is. A3U and A6U.
They're both U?
Both U, yes.
Okay.
A3 upper and A6 upper. Line 3, measure 2, beat 4, right where the triplet is, A4L.
Dawn, would you repeat that?
That's when Joe Cocker comes in by himself and does Up Where the Clear Winds Blow.
Mhm.
I'm sorry, would you repeat, what line is
Yep,
that?
line 3,
Ray?
measure 2, beat
Okay.
4, right over that triplet. It's
Okay.
A4L. And that's actually an optional one too, because it's only for 3 measures. It's actually only for a couple of notes. And then what do? Then you go at the end of the first ending, you're going to put A5L. A5L and go back. That's why when you have A5, wait a minute. Is that right? Yeah, but that's not right. You're supposed to. Oh, because I went back to the upper. Okay, because I'm going to go A5L. I'm going to go back to the beginning. And then when I get to line 2, there's that /U. I'm going to go to the upper keyboard. And then when I get to the third line, I'm going to go back to the lower keyboard. Now, you don't want to do all that?
You said A5 was on line 3.
Yes, and it's also you're also going to start up here. But it's on line 3, but it's in parentheses because you're already on it.
Okay.
Okay,
Yeah.
so you're going to do A5L, A5U on the second line, and A5L on the third line.
That's the second time, okay.
That's the second time you play it, correct.
And what was that on the second line?
Remember where I told you to do L/U?
Yep,
The U is so that the second time you play it, you just go from the lower to the upper keyboard.
okay.
You're going to go back to the lower keyboard on the third line.
So that's still A5
You're
though.
still A5, yep. You're
Okay,
still A5.
okay.
Now, if you don't want to do all those changes, don't worry about it. That's.
Yeah, but it's nice.
I'm
to-
just
even if you don't
following
do it-
how they sing it.
Yeah, it's nice to know how you do it, even if you don't do it.
Okay, Barbie.
Well, you can try it. If you don't like it, don't do it.
That's exactly correct. All right, second ending. Let's go to the second page, line 4, second ending. All right, so now we are on the last measure of that line. You're going to put A7L. That's where you start with that E flat chord and that E flat note. A7L for the rest of the page.
Mhm.
Now we get to the top of page 3 and it's A8U.
Oh, wait a
And you can
minute.
play the whole thing on that. And repeat and fade.
Could you repeat just that last one, please?
Yep, it's A8U. At the top of the third page.
Okay.
And you can play the entire third page on that one and just repeat and fade.
Mhm.
Okay, Mr. Kelly, go ahead. Uh-huh. Correct. 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 You are a genius, Mr. Kelly. Ah, yes. Okay. Or keep it easy, and the only place that you would just want to go back and forth whenever you feel like it, and pick two sounds that you like, and use either your duet or your country for the chorus, which is the top of the second page and all of the third page. And then just take it off when you go back to your verses. So you can make it super easy if you want. Okay, now I'm adding some extra chords too. These are optional. You know everything I do is optional. All right, the C is good. The F is good for 2 counts. Beat 3, which is in between the notes. It's in between your C half note and your low G. You're going to put an F minor, fish minor, F and A flat. So you just want to go to that F minor. The C is good. Let's go to line 2. The F is good for 2 counts. Beat 3 over the quarter rest, another F minor. Now we're going to do it again. The C is good. The F is good for 2 counts. Beat 3, which is in between the notes, F minor. Line 3, the C is good for 3 counts. Beat 4, put a C7. That's optional because you're already on C. The F is good for a 1 whole measure. The D minor, you may put a 7 on it. C, D, F, but you don't need it. You can just do D and F and be fine. That's it for that page. I told you there's really not that many here. Top of page 2. The G is good for 2 counts. Beat 3 over that half rest. You're going to put an F, and beat 4, you're going to go back to G. So you're just doing G, F, G. And those are just lead-in chords to get you to the C. Now when you play the C, I'm changing some notes too, but you know what? Let's do that after we do chords. The C is good. The F is good for 3 counts at the end of line 1. Over the A for where, you're going to put an A minor, C and A. Second line, second measure. Beat 4. Over that quarter rest, you're going to throw in another G. So again, you're doing an F, G, C, just like you did up here. Third line, the F is good for 3 counts. Over the triplet, put an A minor, C and A. Let's go to the first ending, the end of the line. The A minor is good for 1 beat. The very last quarter rest, put an F minor, fish minor, F and A flat. Then you're going to play a C chord and lots of fill in. Then you're going to play an F chord for 2 counts, and beat 3, put an F minor again. Okay, now all these chords, all these flat chords, no changes. Those are going to be hard enough to play because we're not used to them. Even though they're 1 finger. They're all 1 finger chords. You just got to know where they are. And you got to think about all the sharps and flats that you got to play in the right hand as well. And that does get a little bit confusing. So you might want to practice though just, say, today my 2 minutes, I am going to play The Time Goes By, No Time to Cry, Life's You and I Alive Today. And just play those 4 measures. They're hard.
How about 2 hours? Not 2 minutes.
You can do 2 hours if you want. I don't want to make it a chore. Don't ever make it a chore. So now that whole last page is going to be in a different key. All right, starts out with that D flat. You're still going to play in that D flat. D flat's good for 1 measure. The G flat is good for 3 counts. Beat 4 over the B flat, put a B flat minor. B flat minor is D flat and B flat in the wide position. Next line, measure 2. Beat 4 over the quarter rest, you're going to put an A flat. Last line, the G flat is good for 3 counts. Beat 4, which starts over that triplet, B flat minor, D flat and B flat. And the very last measure on the page, the 3rd beat over that F for blow, you're going to put a B flat minor. And the 4th beat over the quarter rest, you're going to put a G flat minor. Now, G flat minor may show up on your window as F sharp minor. Same chord, G flat and A or F sharp and A. So watch it, it's going to show up differently in your window. And that last page, I added a golden harp. Which number is that? Oh, that's number 8.
Pretty.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm. So where would you add that? Right at the top of the page?
Yeah, that's an A8. Yep, top of the page on the 3rd page. I played that whole page with the golden harp.
Ooh, that was pretty there.
And I also added some vocal ensembles to the top and the bottom. So you've got a couple of strings that were in from before, and then I've got some vocal ensembles that softened it up a little bit. So, pick one preset and go with it if you want. Remember, the presets are there for you to learn the buttons on your instrument. That's really all they're there for. Okay, I also have fingering for you. How are we doing on time? Oh, we got lots of time. I'm going to play it again. Listen for the changes. And if you've got something marked wrong, you might go, wait a minute, something's not right here. So,
You mentioned you changed some notes.
oh, thank you. I did change some notes. Thank you, Janice. Thanks for calling me out on that. First page, bottom line. First measure, mountains in our way. The E is good. The second E is not. Cross it out and make it a G on the second line. Mountains in our way. Now, that low A for the word way, that's not right either. Make it a C on the first line below the staff. So it's E, G, D, E, C. And play it the way you remember him singing it. Don't play it da, 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 da. You don't want to play it exactly the way it's written. You want to smooth it out the way that you remember it being sung. Okay, top of the second page, where the chorus starts, measure 2. The G, you want to move it over. So what we're going to do is we're going to put an 8th rest. That looks like the little 7 with the bally on top. The 8th rest right in front of the G. And then you're going to put a flag on the G quarter note so that you play the chord first and then your note.
Ah,
No, you play the C chord. Play the C chord and the G note afterwards. No. No. Now, on line 2, Third measure, where it starts love lift us up where we belong, same thing. You have a C chord and you have a G quarter note right underneath it. Well, we're going to shove the G note over a little bit. So we're going to make an eighth rest, which is that 7 with a volley, right in front of the G quarter note. Then you're going to put a flag on the G quarter note. So the chord comes first, then you play the note. And I
Dawn,
believe,
can you show what an eighth rest looks like?
yes, I can.
Mm,
Oh, I've cleaned everything up, and all right, I'll do it on the back of this.
There, but I
Okay.
know it's not right.
All right,
Not a quarter rest, it's an eighth rest.
it's an eighth rest.
Yeah, let me
Yep.
see it. Okay,
Yep,
I didn't
that's
see it. Oh, there it is.
an eighth rest in front of that G quarter note, and then make the G quarter note an eighth note.
yep, okay.
And that's it. Those are the only changes for notes. So this is actually a pretty good arrangement. It's not bad at all. Just adding the bass. Lots of fill-in. Back to the beginning. Now we go to the upper keyboard. Now we go to the lower keyboard. Last page. And fade it out.
Beautiful.
It's a pretty song. Yeah,
That was on the first version that you gave.
that was the first version I did. That was the one with the presets. Yeah,
Can you, would you mind playing it with the second version? A little
Sure.
part?
you want me to play the whole song?
Yeah, you will.
I'm just reversing the roles. Well, I should have stayed where I was. It doesn't matter. Just adding a duet and a couple of strings. Just go back to the first one. Go to the duet. And I threw in the golden harp. But easy stuff. This was all one button pushes. So you don't have to make this complicated. You can keep it as easy as you want. Basically, you want to have your singers have solo parts, and if you want to go from upper to lower, that's totally up to you. If you want to keep everything on the upper keyboard, that's fine. And then make sure on the chorus you put in a duet or a country harmony so that you get the two singers together. And it doesn't matter if you combine the instruments or if you just leave it on whatever's there and put on your duet or country. So if you learned one thing today, just one, you are 100% successful. I do have fingering for you as well.
Dawn?
Next week, we will do What About Love, which is a heart song. It's kind of heavy duty. I've never taught it before. It's a pretty song. It's kind of a heavy rock song, but it's a ballad. It is a ballad, and it is pretty. We'll tackle that one next week. As far as books, I think some of you came in a little bit late. I want you to go to Hal Leonard and look for 2 books. I thought 204 was out of print. I checked this morning. It is not. So check out Easy Play 204, the best easy listening songs ever. It's got an orange cover. And also check out book 316, which is the white pages. It's a great big fat book, and it's got all kinds of obscure songs that we don't find in other books. So take a look at the titles and take a look at the books and see which one you want. And in a week or 2, we will vote so we can start ordering them, start getting them ordered, so we can have our new book by the time we get to the end of our book here, because we're getting close to the end. Questions?
Dawn, I got a question. On your preset sheet,
Mhm.
I just want you to clear me up on this.
Yeah.
When you got red orchestral genius sound, you got changed to guitar clean, extra clean,
Mhm.
or electric clean.
Uh-huh.
So that is in the upper already, right? And I'm changing it to put it to the lower. So
Mhm.
I'll have that in the upper and that in the lower also.
Correct. You want to keep number 1 in, you want to keep the number 1 in the upper, and then just send your number 2 that you just changed to the lower.
When both of them will be electric guitar.
No,
128.
because what's number 1?
I don't know. I
Number 1 should still
memorized,
be,
I started using.
number 1 should still be a piano.
Okay, so that's when so that you just leave alone.
You leave that one alone, correct. Now, the reason I have to say send to lower right and keep number 1 upper is because those of us that have the A organs, Imperials and Patriots and Liberties and Sterlings, you have 2 commands and 2 sounds. And so when you change to that guitar, it's going to knock out the first one. And so now you have to touch number 1 and then touch number 2 again, so that number 1 is solid, it's going upper. Number 2 is blinky, and that's going to the lower, because you have the 2 commands, upper on and lower right.
But I'm on the marquee.
Correct. And if you're on the marquee, it's a lot easier. Number
So
1
I
you
know,
just
but
leave
I
alone.
gotta know.
Number 1 you leave alone. Number 2 you change to the guitar and send it to the lower. Not to the upper at all.
But the number 2 is gonna be in piano, and then the lower is gonna be in the guitar.
Correct.
I'm talking about sound 2. And I
Uh-huh.
know, and when you say keep number 1 in upper, that's orc 1.
It's already there, yeah. For you, it's already there.
Okay, I'm just talking about the marquee. And so
Yep.
I have piano with the guitar.
No,
The
guitar
piano.
goes to the lower. No, guitar goes
No.
to the lower. You don't want guitar to stay on the upper for that particular one. You're going to send it to the upper in A3.
No, I gotta get A1 correct first. Okay, I haven't memorized this yet, but I don't know what it's gonna say or sound 2, but you say it's piano, right?
I don't know what it started out to be.
I don't either. So,
You just want to change it to a guitar and send it to the lower. I think it was a vocal, actually.
oh, so it's not piano.
I
Vocal.
think number 2 is a vocal, and you're going to change it to guitar and just send it to the lower. Number 1 is the piano, and it's going up.
Yeah, I don't care about piano because you said leave it alone. Okay, so vocal, but the vocal will still be in there,
No,
right?
nope, not if you change it to a guitar.
So it's gonna be guitar and guitar,
Correct.
lower and
'Cause
upper.
you're going to change your solo also to a guitar. So you have no vocals in the lower. You're just going to have guitar.
Okay. Oh,
I'm taking
A4.
out the vocals is what I'm doing. I'm changing the vocals to guitar sound for down here.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So I guess the word send always confuses me. Send. So,
Then it's just I should have just said press lower on, lower right, or upper on. Yeah,
yeah.
I'm
then-
sorry. Yeah,
and-
bad verbiage maybe on my part.
And then in A4, send both. You mean send,
Just
push
touch, just
both.
push lower right. Make sure they're both going to. When it says send, it just means press the right button to get them to go down here.
Okay, and then that cancels, so they could still be up there, right?
Yes.
Just send it down.
Uh-huh.
Okay, I'll try that. Thank you.
Okay, you're welcome.
Dawn, Dawn,
Yeah.
when you were performing, did you
Uh-huh.
do any other Buffy St. Marie songs?
Did I do any other what?
Buffy St.
Buffy
Marie
St.
songs.
Marie?
She's the composer.
I have seen that name before, but I cannot name any of her other songs right off the bat.
Well, there was one I think is for Baby, and she's a very sentimental writer, and she's still performing. I saw a special on her, I think, on PBS
Cool.
recently. Yeah, but
Cool.
she's like Janice Ian.
Oh, wow. Yeah, I like
She's
her
got a
too.
lot of heart songs, sentimental. She knows what she's talking about, I think.
Okay. I will look her up. I will absolutely look her
I
up.
think
Yes.
you'll enjoy.
Yeah, I think I would too. Yep. And thank you for the beautiful card, by the way. It was absolutely beautiful.
Okay, Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. All right, you guys. Let's do some fingering. For those of you who don't need fingering, thank you so much for coming. And the rest of you, get your pencils out. Let's do some work. Some more work. More fun. All right. G5, G5. F4, E3. D2, E3, C1. Check mark. Low G1, G1. E3, G5, F4, E3, C1, G5, 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 E3, E3, F4, E3, C1. Check mark. Low G1, G1, E3, low G1, G5, F4, E3, G1.
It's a C.
One. I'm sorry, go ahead.
C1.
C, I'm sorry, did I call it a G? My bad, it's a C. Take the coffee away from her. All right, the road is long. C1, D2, E3, C1, D2, C1, D2. Next line, E3. The G that we wrote in is a 5. D2, E3, C1. The C that we wrote in is a 1. D2, E3, F4, E3, D2, E3, C1. Top of the second page, D2. The G is a 1, G1, C3, C3, E5, E5, G1, A2. Check mark. A1, C3, D4, E5, C3, A1, C3, D4, E5, C3, G1, G1, C3, C3, E5, E5, G1. Next line, A2, check mark. A1, C3, C3, D4, E5, C3, A1, C3, C3, first ending, E5, D4, E5. Second ending, E5, C3, E5, D4. Check mark, E flat 4, E flat 4, D3, B flat 1. Yes, we're going to break the rules, and sometimes you have to put your thumb on the right hand on a black key, and this is one of those cases. D flat 3, E flat 4, E flat 4, C2, A flat 1, B3, C sharp 2, I'm sorry, it's a 4, C sharp 4, C sharp 4. I don't know why they didn't make those D flats, they should have. B flat 2, G flat 1, G flat 1, A flat 2, check mark. The A flat eighth note is a 1. F5, E flat, unless you can reach the 2 to the 5. If you can do that, go for it. All right, let's turn the page. Yeah, E flat is 4. Yes. All right. Last page. A flat 1, A flat 1, D flat 3, D flat 3, F5, F5, A flat 1, B flat 2. Check mark. B flat 1, D flat 3, E flat 4, F5, D flat 3, B flat 1, D flat 3, E flat 4, F5, D flat 3, A flat 1, A flat 1, D flat 3, D flat 3, F5, F5, A flat 1. Last line, B flat 2, check mark. B flat 1, D flat 3, D flat 3, E flat 4, F5, D flat 3, D flat 3, D flat 3, F5, E flat 4, and F5. Questions?
Nope.
Make it as easy or as hard as you want. This is one of those songs that you can make the arrangement pretty much whatever you want. So, pretty song. If you have never seen the movie, it's actually a very good movie. Officer and a Gentleman, check it out. Next week we will do What About Love? It's a ballad by Heart. That was another girl that Linda Ronstadt, she was the woman with the voice I always wanted. And the other one was Anne Hart. No, I didn't want Barbara Streisand's voice. No, I wanted the Hart sisters. I wanted Anne's voice. Just a huge, she could just belt out notes and it just, I am not worthy, because I couldn't do it. All right, you guys, we'll do this next week. Thank you so much. Stay warm this weekend. Have a wonderful weekend, and we'll see you all next week.
Thanks, Dawn.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye-bye.